So today's read aloud brings us back to our book on bugs and in their ecosystems, which is by the American Reading Company, or ARC, the company that we use for our reading program. And we are reading our next section, which is on animal needs. And you can think of animal needs pretty much along the lines of people needs. So people need basic things like water, food, and a place to live. Those are the basic needs of humans. And animals have some of the same basic needs. And this reading is actually going to take us onto our next section of our next writing section, which is on reading question number 2. Which is going to be in which ecosystems does my bug live, the bug that you chose to research. In order for us to move forward with our next research question when it comes to writing, you have had to be planted in what bug you're going to research, and there are some of you who still have not decided which bug you're going to research, so you need to make that decision by today so that you can do the writing component to this reading assignment. So this piece is by Jason Fleischer, and if you can see, it shows a lion, and it shows what would be his lungs inside of his body, and it shows a fish, and it shows what would be gills on the side of its body, and then here we see a caterpillar, and on the caterpillar's body we see these little brown dots. They're called spiracles, and all of those, the lungs, the gills, and the spiracles are all needed in order to help the animals, what do you think? Breathe. So all animals need air. That's the first thing all animals need. Animals have different ways to get air. Many animals breathe through their nose or through their mouth. The air goes into their lungs, like humans. Fish breathe air through their gills. Many lungs have small holes. Many bugs have small holes in their bodies called spiracles that help them breathe air. So one thing that all animals need is air to breathe. All animals need water. Animals have water in their bodies. Their bodies, like humans, we have water in our bodies too. Their bodies use water to keep cool or warm. Water does many other things too, but animal bodies lose water every time they sweat or they go to the bathroom, just like our bodies. So animals have to get more water or they will dry out, like us. Many animals drink the water they need. Some animals get water in other ways. For example, some animals eat plants that have water inside of them. Bees drink nectar from flowers. Nectar has water in it, so bees don't have to drink water. Kind of the same way in when we eat some fruits and vegetables that have a lot of water in them. It's helping us to keep us hydrated, just like animals. So animals need air and animals need water. All animals need energy. Animals need energy to move and grow. They get the energy they need by eating food. All animals need air and water, but they can only get energy from food. Some animals get energy by eating plants. Some animals get energy from eating other animals. So kind of like people too. Some of us eat meat and some of us are vegetarians. We only eat vegetables. All animals need shelter. So wait, they need air, they need water, they need food, they need shelter. Aren't those things we need too? All animals need shelter. They need shelter to stay out of bad weather and to hide from predators. Many animals make homes to shelter in. Birds and lizards build nests. Other animals dig holes in the ground or burrows for their homes. Bees and wasps build hives. Spiders spin webs for their homes. Some animals find shelter where they live. Butterflies hide under leaves to stay out of the rain. Other animals, like snails and turtles, have hard shells that give them a shelter. So they come in with a built-in house. Aren't they so lucky? Animals live all over the world. So this is an image of our world. But they only live in places that have the things that they need. Animals get the things they need from their surroundings. They can't live in places where they can't find air, or where they can't find food, or where they can't find water and shelter. Many animals live in rainforests. Rainforests have lots of water. They have lots of plants and animals for food so they can get energy. And lots of trees so they can find shelter. And wherever in the map you see this solid black is where you can find a rainforest in the world. Deserts don't have much water. Very little rain falls there. Few animals can live in the desert, but some very, very crafty animals can live in the desert and can find water in creative ways. So wherever you see these lines is where you find a desert in the world. Australia has a lot of desert land. Very cold places don't have many plants. Very few plants can live where it is cold. Without plants for food, there are few animals that can live in cold places too. Wherever you see that dot is where you can find a very cold habitat. So I'm thinking that animals that like to eat plants cannot live in very cold places, sometimes called the Arctic, because they can't find plants there because not too many plants can live in very cold places. So one of your research questions is to think about where your animal lives, and if it could live in the desert, and if it could live in the Arctic, and if it could live in a rainforest. There are some animals that can live in different habitats, in more than one habitat, but not all animals can do that. So you're going to have to research to find out where your animal can live. And if after reading a few books you can't find it, you can always ask Google, but I don't want Google to be the first thing you go to. I want your reading to be your research. Good researchers have to read lots of books to find the answers to the questions that they have. I don't want you to be just a researcher that goes to Google. That's not going to make you very smart. Reading lots of books is. So I want you to go and read books to try and find the answers. Don't get frustrated. Sometimes you have to read many books before you find an answer. Just like scientists have to perform many experiments before they can find the one thing that answers the question that they want to answer. So be a digger and search for answers. Don't give up, okay? It's okay. Reading doesn't hurt. It makes you smarter. So read, my little friends, and find your research answers.